can stay in that space, observer, then you don't get too attached, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like we get too caught up in it,
and
trying
the
to experience, and then we get lost in it, and that's when you get attached and it gets toxic. If you can be the observer of your like life and your experiences, you'll see it differently.
Hi guys, I'm Dee.
And I'm G.
And this is Tea with D and G. We have our tea prepared, and Theo always trying to get in the shot. It's never gonna not be that way, but I have, cheers. I have some apple cinnamon tea today, and
I have, what is this, vanilla chamomile?
Honey vanilla chamomile.
Honey vanilla chamomile.
It still feels really hot, but it smells so good.
Every time I drink tea, I just think of mushrooms.
Same. Oh, it's not too hot. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, this is buzzing.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're living, we're thriving. We have the tea, we're set.
We're at a cute little setup today this time.
Yes. Shout out to Savannah. Hey. She'll be our guest soon enough. She's in San Francisco right now, or she'd probably be here with us today.
Yeah, shout out to Savannah. That's our other soul sister. She's allowing us to use her space right now.
We're very grateful.
Very grateful.
And we're gonna start off the right way, the only way we know.
Giving thanks to the ancestors, baby.
What were you saying last night about how you like Jamaican culture and like?
Yeah, because they treat herb like they say they're speaking to their ancestors. See, yeah, in Rastafarian culture, I believe. I've heard this, you know, don't shoot me if I'm wrong, but I swear they...
She hasn't done the real research.
Yeah, but I know I've heard somewhere in some culture, I want to say it's Rastafarian, something like that, when they smoke weed and they smoke herb, they say that they're talking to their ancestors, like, yeah, because they feel like their ancestors are in the herb, that's where they reincarnate into, the soil and the herb and all that stuff, so... I had a moment, so we'll start off with church.
Yes. She went to church today.
I went to church today. I haven't been to church in a couple months. I always start going to church and then I fall off. So today I like made a promise to myself that I was gonna go, and I'm so glad I did. And it's crazy how when you start to include God into your life, how the enemy, I don't want to say his name, but we know who we talking about. He tries to test you and like bring you down, and I had to test a moment before I came here, and he like hit me up at the perfect time. Like I feel like I needed to get out the house and like do God's work, because the enemy will test you as soon as you try to get close to God. So
there are so many tests that come along, and yeah, it's beautiful to just walk in God's light and try to, you know, put yourself in situations where even, you know, when you're being faced with the darkness, just removing yourself and redirecting your energy.
Like go to the light.
Yes, just go to the light.
Literally. Yeah. I came here, and normally we film at my house, so it was perfect because I feel like I needed to get out of my house to like get out of that energy. But yeah, I went to church today, and it's crazy. It just was so affirming about everything we've been talking about. Like yesterday when me, you and Alani talked, literally she reiterated everything we said.
So the girl that
was preaching
was like her friend.
Yeah, I've known her since I was little, and normally it's our normal pastor, Pastor Benny, but he wasn't there today, so Gia, she preached, and it was just everything I needed to hear. I definitely cried a little bit. She was just talking about like living a focused life and stop being consumed by your past, and how to turn your focus in your direction to God and to heaven. Like it was just so beautiful.
And it's so crazy because we literally hung out with her friend last night, and we were having this exact conversation. She brought up the power of now. We were talking about being present. We got deep into presence for like probably 10-15 minutes yesterday, because we did record some of it, which might be on like a little Patreon for y'all. We'll figure that out. You know, just like nighttime with the girls, when you're having a conversation, you know, everybody says that when you're with your friends and you're just having a great conversation, you're like, we should make a podcast.
And we really doing it. We're really
doing it. And like there are just gonna be nights like that where we're like not prepared. It's gonna be low quality video, probably recorded on a cell phone, but at the same time we're still having powerful conversations, so they're gonna be, you know, somewhere. We'll figure out a place to put them for sure. But we did hang out with her friend last night and had great conversation. And we got so deep about presence and everything, and it's just so beautiful. when you're sharing things like that with your friends, when you're having these moments with your friends, and then God reaffirms what you're doing and what you're implementing by
going to church,
repeating it at church.
Everything she took, like, I have my notes right here, and it started with like a focused life is the name of the message, and then she gave us 3 ways to live a focused life. And the first thing was forget the past. Like, the enemy wants you to be stuck in the past and not move forward. And then the second one was press in the present, like literally be in the present moment. That she said perfection is not on earth, perfection is in heaven, and we're supposed to strive for progress on earth, not perfection. So we're supposed to thank God every day for our progress and praise him for our progress, and not, you know, strive for perfection, because it doesn't exist on earth.
It doesn't exist here. And I think that that's one thing, like, people just in general, and kind of what you were talking about just a minute ago about comparing yourself, and you know, just in general, we live in a culture where we're constantly scrolling. We're seeing highlight reels of everyone, you know, posting the best things that they do and just expressing like their favorite moments. And it's like, okay, but at the same time, that does cause us to compare and cause us to think of ourselves a bit less sometimes, because it's like we're just constantly seeing these highlight reels.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, being in the present, you have to be focused on, like, you know, everything that's going on, not just whatever you're deciding to fill your mind with or consume or whatever. Like, being present is scary because it is unknown, and it is like something that's not easy to do, but and the unknown is like the most powerful thing. So it's just so important.
Yeah, she was saying how like heaven is our home, and that's where we're supposed to be going. And although we do have like an assignment on earth, we're supposed to still be focused on where we're going. Like, we're supposed to, like, we're doing this, we know we have this assignment to share this, but we have to focus on where we're trying to go, which is heaven, and not necessarily like passing away heaven, but, you know, just
creating that
heaven on earth, you know, that
within
peace.
yourself.
She said that earthbound people are always looking, people who live like very earthly and are not thinking of heaven, are always looking for things to feed them. They're always looking for, what can I take from a person? What can I get? What can I get? I need to scroll on Instagram to feed this for me. I need to watch porn to feed this.
That next dopamine high.
I need that next, I'm looking for the next girl. I'm looking for the next guy. Everyone's always looking for something to feed them. But heaven-bound people are only looking for God to feed them, and and looking to God. So I don't know, that just helped me a lot, because I was like, it made me shift my perspective and just be more intentional and mindful about like what I'm consuming and like what I'm doing. I feel like the purpose is to serve, but everybody's so self-fulfilled now. What's gonna make me feel better? What can I do to make me feel better, versus like, how can I help somebody else today?
But that's the thing that they're missing, is like, by helping somebody else, you're gonna feel better.
And I love that you say that, because literally right now, as I've been going through this transition and this breakup and like healing, I was like thinking of everything that I could put on, like what's gonna make me feel better, changing my hair, like a new guy maybe, or like the same thing. And as soon as I started to like do this with you, like serve, that's what's been making me feel better. Like, nothing else is making me feel better.
The only thing that's been giving me energy, I've been so depressed for other reasons and just like going through my own mental thing, but like I feel like when I'm doing this, I really have life and I really have like energy flowing through me, whereas like I'm struggling to get through the rest of my day, like literally. So I just think it's so healing and awesome to share experience with others, to create environments for people where they feel safe and where they feel heard and where they can actually relate to like what we're talking about, and hopefully, you know, at the same time, like steer people back towards thinking about God and like how we can serve God. And you know, if you, and again, like I just always want to say this in every video, because this might be the first video you've seen, but it's like, whatever God means to you, like whatever God means to you, it could be creating, and it usually does have to come with creating. Like, God is creation. He has created this beautiful world for us, and you know, by creating this, people have put 2 and 2 together and created new things, and all creation comes, you know, from something beyond ourselves. And so it's just like, whatever that means to you, whatever God is giving to you to do to serve others, just do it, because you're never gonna fill your void. Like what we're saying, like,
you're not gonna, there's nothing. I just had a prime example of it just now with what I was telling you about my family. Like, there's nothing that's gonna, I was thinking the same thing this morning. I'm good, we can like say the other half for after.
Tell it one more time.
While we're talking about God.
Hey,
He put this here.
baby.
Yeah,
balance.
He put it on herb. It's an herb.
It's an herb.
It's a plant.
fine, girl.
And we're using it with good intentions. But yeah, nothing's gonna fill that void. Like literally, absolutely nothing is gonna fill it. You're gonna run just in that circle and be in the same cycle forever until you start living in your purpose. And you know what that is. Like I feel like everyone obviously has an assignment here, and you'll feel it. Like you know, it's the thing that you avoid doing the most. I feel like you know what that is, and you just people aren't silencing their thoughts in their mind enough to like go within. Everybody's trying to go escape and go do all that. Like if you go within, you'll hear that voice telling you like what you need to be doing.
As within, so without. The more you can understand how your inner workings work and how to control your inner workings. Another like topic of conversation that we were talking about already also is just like knowing when it's time to like remove yourself, and like when the emotions are so heightened and you have that choice right then and there. Like you can choose to listen to the devil on your shoulder, you can choose to listen to your own thoughts, your own emotions that you've got going crazy, or you can choose the path of peace, and you can choose to walk away, and you can choose to reevaluate the situation in your own headspace by yourself before you go and you have these emotional conversations with someone you might love, like
100%.
someone you might really care about.
I feel like so many relationships could be saved, and I'm not saying that you and the person break up and it saves it by you guys getting back together, but saves the relationship in a sense where you guys can be cordial and be cool. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be this whole I gotta ignore you and not talk to you forever and block you. Like social media has made everything so emotional. But if we just kind of like centered ourselves and have these conversations, you and your ex could be cool. I'm not saying you best friends, you're kicking it all the time, but you don't have to feel that animosity and that pain so much. Like I'm scrolling on TikTok, like of course going through my thing, and it's so many people who were like in pain over an ex, and they're talking about they're still sad 3, 4, 5 years later, and no contact is so hard, and they're crying in their car, and it's like it's so many people. Like every video, it's just comments of people saying like I feel this. I'm like, bro, like this is sad. Like we all deserve peace and to like move forward if something doesn't work out. And I feel like the only way to do that is to like your perspective, like what you're listening to.
The main thing is forgiveness.
Yes. And
you have to forgive yourself, and you have to forgive other people for yourself. Forgiveness is not for others. Forgiveness is for you. And there's this like ancient Hawaiian philosophy, I guess you could call it. It's called Ho'oponopono.
And my friend has that tattooed.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Like they practice it within the family. Like Hawaiian families practice this philosophy, and basically what it means is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And so by doing that and by practicing that practice and giving that energy to that person, you actually give them space to heal. Even people who are not ready to forgive, people who are not ready to face it or like whatever, by actually providing that Ho'oponopono for them, they like have space to heal. And there was like a study done.
That makes so much sense.
Yes.
I feel like the moment I forgave my ex, I felt so free. The moment I was like, okay, what happened, we're done, we're separate now, I've forgiven myself, we went through it, but I'm letting this go in peace, and I forgive you, I forgive myself. The peace I've been feeling, I'm not waking up like anxious. It's still like, you know, it's gonna take some time, but it's been so much better since literally like yesterday.
I love that.
Like as soon as we started talking about God and I went to church, I'm like, the peace I feel, it's like I'm able to go to, I had a good nap today. I woke up with a little bit of anxiety, but I instantly knew, okay, don't give in to those thoughts in your head. I went outside, grounded myself, and felt so much better. I was like, yeah, we on it. Like, I'm figuring it out.
And it's also like, man, just God is forgiveness. That is what we were saying.
It's literally number one in the notes today. She said forgive, like forgiveness. I gave my friend Bella a Reiki session a couple weeks ago, or like a week ago, and all I kept hearing during her session is forgive. Like we all need to forgive ourselves because we all have this past hurt. We might have hurt somebody. I've hurt people in the past. People have hurt me, and all I hear is forgive. Like during our session, it's just.
I really think that's something that we're missing as a society, because at the same time we are missing like a God in our lives, and
that's why we can't.
Like I was saying,
We're missing forgiveness, and that's why we have a hard time moving on from things.
And God is forgiveness, and God is the way to forgive, because when you know God's unconditional love, then you understand forgiveness in a new way, because love is something bigger than you, and it's something that just when you meet someone and you cross paths with them, like there's a reason. Mm-hmm. There's a reason that you cross paths with them. Everyone's a reflection of you in some way. Amen. And usually the parts that you hate most about them
is the stuff you're missing to see within yourself.
Period. Dude. Literally. Because and that's just life. And so we have to respect others in that regard for, you know, giving us that reflection.
That's how I feel like forgive. I feel like for me, like I be in and out of these situations, these relationships, and the part that helps me move on from the situation is focusing on what I gained from the person. What did you reflect back to me? That's what I focus on. Like that's what helps me heal and move forward. When I stop thinking about what you did bad and how all the bad things. I'm like, okay, but what did I take from this? Like, what did you reflect back to me that I can take and change and like make better about myself? Like
exactly.
That's what you gotta focus.
Okay, this is one situation of life of this. What we're talking about, but this is such a higher principle in the regard that everything, all struggles we face, everything that we face and that, you know, we're holding a grudge towards, like you find the forgiveness by finding the lesson, by finding what it taught you, by finding what you gained from it, because there's a reason that you do everything. Like your life is like a cascade of your decisions, of your thoughts, and it's all perfectly patterned out. And so if you can see that, and if you can trust that, then you can surrender to the outcome, and you can stop, you know, holding all these grudges and having all this hate in your heart, because it's like at the end of the day, if you know God's love, you know that it's just unconditional is the only word that I accurately have to describe it, but it's just like ever presently there, and it's so powerful and so forgiving and so loving and like so warm.
I feel like you just really have to have trust and faith in him that like he created this earth, so there's a path that he created for you. And I think we talked about this yesterday, and you really just have to have like so much blind faith in that path, because like what's for you will not miss you. Like we want to hold on to so much, and the more we hold on, the more we put ourselves in pain, and we're just restricting everything, when really we should just let go and surrender, and God will make a way. Like I keep using my last relationship as an example, but that's just where I'm at in my life. Like I wanted to hold on to that with everything inside of me, and the moment I let go, it was so painful. But now I'm like at that point where I'm like, oh, like this peace and this path that God paved, like he's taking me somewhere. And that's what they're talking about in church. You got to focus on where you're going. You can't be stuck here. You can't be trying to hold on, like focus. There's a focus on where he's trying to take you. Yeah. Like your perspective, what you're looking at. If you're looking here all the time, you're going to hurt your neck. You got to look, you're like, ow, if you looking this way, look this way. Like God got you for real. I swear. Like you just have to let go. Like the hardest part is letting go. That's the hardest part. Once you do that, just
and forgive and just love and, you know, just create peace in your life in any way you can. Like in whatever situation you're going through, like whatever you got to do to make the inside of your mind more peaceful, because the more chatter you got going on up in there.
I was just about to say, we have to, and this is what we were talking about before we cut, but we have to like stop listening to everybody else's thoughts and opinions and start to form our own opinions and listen to, you know, our higher self, because not everybody on social media is right about how you should handle your relationship or how you should be a mother. Everybody has such an opinion about everything, and people start to believe it, and so now we're all misguided. So it's like if we start to listen to our own stuff, like our own higher thoughts and our God's voice,
all the knowledge is within.
Yeah, we have everything we need. We don't need to be on there like telling everybody, no, you need to live this way, do this. Everybody's life is different. How you handle something is going to be completely different than how I handle it.
Exactly.
Like, it's
Per.
Like, it's not, everybody's journey is so unique, and I feel like everybody's so opinionated. Like, focus on you.
But I feel like, and that goes back to clearing your mind and just having that ability and meditation. That's why people, spiritual people, they harp on meditation. And even like today, I feel like it's not even like a spiritual thing. Like, I feel like people are really understanding it. Science is studying it. I read somewhere that like 30% of the world population meditates.
Damn.
I read something like that, and that could be a crazy statistic, and I could be completely wrong, and it could not even be accurate. Mm-hmm. But I read that, and it really made me really happy, because I just think that meditation is so many different things. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, what it is just clearing your mind, observing your thoughts rather than trying to control them and trying to analyze them too much. Just let them flow through you. Mm-hmm. And let them teach you what they're there to teach you, and clear your mind. Go be with nature, or create a space in your house where you feel present. But really, at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're creating and practicing the neural pathway of presence. So the more that you're building that neural pathway in your brain, the easier it's going to be to get to the present moment in the rest of your life. And that's why meditation is important, and that's what it's doing for you. It's actually creating a pathway in your brain for you to access more easily the present moment. And that's where the power is.
Yeah, I've been having to like intentionally bring myself to the present every day. In moments where I want to like hop on and scroll, I'm like, what can I do to like ground myself? Or if I take my dog for a walk, like I'm leaving my phone in the house now instead of playing music. And it's just
I leave my phone in the house when I walk for you.
It's like even listening to too much music all the time. You gotta silence it. Like
I completely agree.
It's quiet. I have to leave my phone sometimes, or even at the gym sometimes I won't even put headphones in, and I'll just be very present. Like I practice like just being
in the car. I like to not listen to music in the car. I talk to God a lot in the car.
Same.
I feel like the car is just like such a safe place. Like, unless you live alone, which I am used to living alone, which is nice, but I don't right now. So the car. And like for most of my life until like the last 2 years, I never lived alone. And so I just feel like always in my life, like ever since I've had a car, the car has been my safe space. And to really just like drive in silence and talk to God and work through. I have conversations like before I have them. I like to sing in the car, like by myself, like I just feel the most comfortable and safe like in my car. I feel like nobody is there, nobody can be there. Like, I don't know.
I feel that. I'm like that with my car too, and the shower, of course, because the water.
Yeah, the shower.
Like sometimes I talk conversations with God, and I be singing, and things get real clear for me in the shower. I'm like, okay,
this
is a moment where like it's washing, everything's washing out, you're kind of clear.
It literally puts your mind in like alpha brain, like it's the frequency that you go on when you meditate. It happens in the shower. Yeah, literally. I think that we're at an age, or at least me, I don't know how you feel, but I'm 27, and I feel like I'm getting to an age where I should really have my stuff together.
Same.
And I don't. Same. So once you get there and you're like getting later in life and you're starting to feel like you're not on a path that's designed for you, it takes a huge toll on your mental. And I know like they told us this as kids and that's why you're supposed to like go to college and stuff. Hey, I went to college.
So did I. We tried.
I didn't figure it out. Okay, I got my whole degree and everything, and I never have used it. But I just like it's taken me a lot longer, and like everybody tells you, like everybody's on their own timeline, and it takes people a long time to figure out what they like really want. The thing is, I feel like I've known for a while. I've known since I moved to Vegas. Probably like 2019 I figured it out, what I really wanted to do, and it's create, it's give back, and it's be a woman of God and live in my truth. And I have just tried to start so many times by myself.
Same.
And
before this, fun fact, I tried to start my own little thing. It was just tea with G. And I was like, this is just so hard by myself, because I want to like be able to flow like this and not just sit and talk about myself. And God just knew. She said, I'm coming back to Vegas. I was like, thank the Lord Jesus and heavens above, because I cannot do this by myself. I don't want to do it by myself. And like I feel like timing, divine timing is real.
It's
you know,
real.
I saw a TikTok, and I feel like I should insert it or maybe show it, but this girl was talking about how the same thing, how like it just has taken her longer to get to where she's trying to get in her life, and she feels like she's been going through so much. And he's like, but this is your testimony. Like, you're accumulating all the knowledge you need so you can do your job. He was like, would you trust a professor who only went to school for like a month? Or no, he said, would you trust a doctor who only went to school for a month? And she was like, no, like you would want the doctor to have as much knowledge as possible. So it's like, just trust your journey and trust that everything you're going through is so you can, you know, get to where you're trying to go.
And it's so true. So true. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we do want to be healers, and we don't even know the direction this is going to take us, and we're so open to whatever path God wants to lead us on. We just know we have to start here. And we both have been feeling that way. Like, we've both been feeling that way about creating content. And so we both really know that this is the first avenue that we're supposed to walk on towards this path that we want to be in. But like for me, I definitely aspire to like bring people together and to heal in groups. And like, of course, like I hope these videos are healing for people, and that's the goal with these as well. But like to really create a community and bring people together is so powerful. Like it really, really is. And the way that you can heal when a group is thinking in a similar way and putting attention towards similar concepts and similar viewpoints, and just healing together and praying together and meditating together, all of these things, they're so powerful.
Yeah.
And I really envision that for myself and for us is like, you know, our main reason that we want to grow a following and like want to gain traction and put ourselves out there is so that in the future, you know, we can create healing environments.
Yeah.
And
community just brings longevity, because when you're just trying to become successful by yourself, like you can only go so far with that, you know what I mean? Like if you have more people, it extends the possibilities. You're opening the door more. If it's just you know what I mean? Like you can only get so far.
And I couldn't get far, and like I needed you to like be that balance. I've tried with other people, I've tried, you know, in general, but it's like I've tried by myself, I've tried with other people, but we just have this perfect balance that really helps us flow and create together. And I think that God aligned us at like the perfect time to do this. And so
you've definitely been like really accountable for me. I needed an accountability partner, because like in those moments where like tonight, like she was like, we could film, there's a setup, let's do it, you know? And I'm like, bet. Like I had no excuse, like I'm not doing nothing right now. Like this is accountability. Get up. You just took a nap, you know, you're refreshed, like go be productive. Like I need that in my life, because otherwise like I get stuck in the other stuff.
I do too. I wish I had that with work, because I don't.
Yeah.
And I could be really good at my job, but I just like struggle so hard doing it.
Yeah.
Like even to the point where I've kind of been thinking about getting like a bartending job low key, just because I know I'm good at that.
Yeah.
And it's easy for me. But like I low key just want to be doing this.
Yeah.
And I really and I know I have to work and like support myself in order to get there. And obviously like I've been doing that for a long time, and I know I know I'll figure out a way to do it if it's not the avenue that I'm walking right now. But at the end of the day, like I think just being able to create and being able to talk about things that help us in life and knowledge that we've gained, and like you said, like we had to go through the struggle, and we had to become our age. We had to be in the shoes that we're in right now to be able to really share knowledge in a way that is going to be interpreted in God's design.
We had to have the experience, because it's like you can't be a healer and tell people something that you haven't experienced yourself. I feel like the experience is like the testimony, and that's your proof, you know, like
the proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the pudding. Like how a doctor gets their degree. Like we needed to accumulate some experience to get our healer's degree. Because like we had to go through the pain and the sadness and all the grief and the insecurities, the loss. We had to go through the growth and all growing pains. Man, we had to go through it. And we still do, but now we're learning how to transmute it and like.
And I think also just navigate it with ease. Like you were kind of talking about earlier, when you have God on your side, when you are able to truly surrender to the outcome and know that whatever is in God's plan, like it is designed for you, you flow with ease. And there's a Abraham Hicks, shout out Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks, but she has an analogy of like floating in a canoe. And how like when you're floating downstream in a canoe, like you don't really have to paddle that hard, and like it's kind of fun and relaxing and beautiful. But if you like got turned around and we're trying to go upstream, like that shit's hard and not fun. And so when you find yourself like going upstream and pushing against, you know, the flow and the ease of life, just let go of the oars and give it to God. And just allow him to carry you back down into that downstream flow, because that is the natural state. Like that is the natural ease, the flow, the path of least resistance.
Have you seen Soul?
Yes.
Yeah, that flow state when they're in that state.
Oh, it's such a cute movie.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I love little cute animated movies like that. Like when they have like a cute little story.
Really
I like cried. Like
Same.
I love emotional, cute little movies like that. It makes me so happy.
I love those.
I'm such a sappy person when it comes to like entertainment in general. Like I'd be crying.
I watched the most cheesy romantic movie earlier, and I was like, wow, I'm such a simp, bro. Like
I like cheesy romantic movies.
It gives you hope when you need a little bit of hope that just like, you know, like you're just like, oh, life can be beautiful. Like, there's happy endings. it just gives you that vibe. But yes, flow state. That's the state I'm trying to live in right now.
I think that's really what we should all be striving to, is to find something that allows us to get into a flow state and to press the pressure. Press on the pedal of that thing, because it's like that is living in the present, is being in flow state. And like you have the ability to like channel a higher power and really channel a creation. And like, you know how we say at the beginning of all of our videos, like our ideas are not our own. And
I feel like this is flow state for us.
This is
like,
this is for me
like
too.
Like when we're done with this, I feel like I just like, I feel so good after.
Me too.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's so important to find in your life, just like whatever makes you feel that way. And it can be hard to find. Like it's taken us a long time, and like I said, I've kind of known for a while, but at the same time, it's really hard to press the gas on that and to do it, because it's like, it's the thing you're fearing the most. Like it's the thing you're avoiding the most.
That you need to do.
But it's so fulfilling and so rewarding when you can get into a flow state and just share a conscious stream with others. Because even if, you know, we touch one person and like we have one person comment on a video like ever and be like,
I'm okay with that.
Yo, I resonated with you and like this made my day, or like this made me understand life in a better way, and like thank you for this perspective, like that's gold. Like I'm so good with that. Like I don't know, I just feel like
I'm cool with one person. That's how I felt, because I used to do YouTube and really post, and like I felt the same way. I'm like, I'm just gonna post, and if it's one person, then I'm cool. But I ended up reaching like thousands of people at a certain point on certain videos. I'm like, wow, like when your
you just
intention,
never know.
you just never know. And if your intention is pure and you feel called to do it and you lean into that calling, God's gonna show you, look, this is like the reward for the risk that you just took. You took the risk of only one person watching, so here's 1,000, you know?
And I feel like also though, at the same time, even when I am with one person, like I meet strangers, I'm a very social butterfly, and I meet strangers and I end up having like deep ass life conversations with them all the time, like, and I will help them and like guide them in a way, and like it is just very natural for me. And like I'm that person that my friends call like when they're going through it, like if they need real advice, like I'm that friend.
I be calling and be like, anytime I'm going through like a dark, heavy time, like I feel like you're the friend I really look to.
I feel like it is natural for me to, like, people know I can bear the weight, and that I can transmute that energy very well.
100%.
And I think that it is so rewarding to me. Like, I feel like sometimes my friends will be like, oh my God, like, I'm sorry, I'm like blowing up your friend. I'm like, I love this. Like, you don't understand. Like, please come to me with your problems. Like, I know, like, I will not call you back or like find the time to have a conversation unless I have the space to deal with it.
Sure.
So like for me, it's just so rewarding. Like I love being able to give people new perspective and just guide them in a way that, you know, is more on God's terms and just to help them control their thoughts and their actions so that God can reward them in that, you know, because that's really where we can get rewarded and where we can start to cleanse out all the chaos is by cleansing out the chaos in here.
Yeah.
And so like, and in our actions as well, but like that stems from here. So it's just like,
yeah, you definitely helped me through some really dark times. I feel like you just being, I feel like I like to be that person now because I see how well you're able to hold space and transmute. So like when you weren't here for like the last year and I'm like making new friends and stuff, like I feel like I've kind of been that in other people's lives.
Well, and you are that in your Reiki practice as well.
Yeah.
She also does energy healing. She's also a transmuter of energy in her own regard, and so
it's fun. It's really fulfilling. I feel the most fulfilled like doing this and Reiki. Like when I'm done with Reiki, I'm like, wow, like I'm really out here trying to heal and help people. Like,
hey, I feel good about it. I'm out here putting smiles on people's faces.
Like, it's really God's work. He just wants us to serve and help each other
grow, help each other learn, help each other understand ourselves. That's what we were saying earlier about being a reflection and like all people being a reflection to us. It's
once
like,
you realize that, I'm telling you, when you meet somebody, you go into a situation, whether it's a friendship, you're dating someone new, when you go into it with, okay, I know you're here to be a reflection of me, it's like you're having an out-of-body experience and you're watching yourself like have this experience. If you can stay in that space, observer, then you don't get too attached, you know? I feel like we get too caught up in it, trying to experience, and then we get lost in it, and that's when you get attached and it gets toxic. If you can be the observer of your like life and your experiences, you'll see it differently. By the end of my relationship, I felt like I was watching myself go through something.
But that's where God is. He's in the observation. That's where He's holding your hand. That's where He's guiding you. When you can step outside of here, step outside of your own thoughts and just
none but ourselves.
Experience it, take it in. That's why meditation helps. Like this all goes back full circle always, and like it might feel
it
like
all links back to God and being present and clearing your mind. Like it all links back to that. Like,
and I hope that like also if we could just help one person see like God in a new way, because I think we've just gotten so turned off by God. Like
people are like, God, you're religious. Oh no.
Like they're like, oh, that's like, I don't know. They just seem so jaded to the idea, and I get it because I've been there, and I really resonate with that. Like I do, and I was there for a long time, and like, if you could just see God as love and as unconditional love, and find out what that means to you, you know, that just. I think that's so powerful, and it's so rewarding, and it's so meaningful to have that relationship with that unconditional love, and so. That's our goal, and that's
get
our
people
tea.
Closer to God. That's the tea
that's the
for
tea,
the
sis.
night.
That's the tea, sis. Cheers.
Thank you guys for watching another.
Like, comment, subscribe if you related to anything. If you liked anything we said, if you have any suggestions about other topics we should talk about.
Tell us who God is to you. Share us who God is to you.
Yes. What does God mean to you?
What does God mean to you?
What helps you get into flow state?
Her.
And subscribe, help us out. We just want to spread light and love and share with you guys, and
Period. Peace, y'all.
Peace and love and blessings to all of you. No.
I was saying it all day today. I was so tired from church. I came home, I'm like, clear. No, clear.